want you to imagine that everything you can see, touch, and feel is actually made of energy. Your body, this screen, even your thoughts, all vibrating at different frequencies. Now, what if I told you that death is simply a shift in this energy? This is just one of the revolutionary ideas we'll explore from the Tibetan Book of the Dead. In the next 45 minutes, you're going to discover why death might not be what you think it is. Keep watching until the end, because we will be answering the big questions you've been asking about life, death, and everything in between. For centuries, a powerful text was kept hidden from the world. Why? The Tibetan Book of the Dead, known as the Bardo Thodol, holds secrets that have fascinated and frightened people for generations. This ancient manuscript isn't just a guide for the dying, it's a roadmap for consciousness itself. Imagine a text so potent that it was deliberately concealed, waiting for the right moment to be revealed. That's exactly what happened with the Bardo Thodol. Composed in the 8th century by Padmasambhava, a legendary Buddhist master, this book was hidden as a spiritual treasure. But why keep such wisdom under wraps? The answer lies in the book's explosive potential. The Bardo Thodol challenges everything we think we know about death and consciousness. It suggests that what we call death is really just a transition, a shift in our energy and awareness. This idea was so radical, so dangerous to established beliefs, that it needed to be protected and preserved for a time when the world was ready to receive it. Throughout history, attempts were made to suppress this knowledge. The book's teachings threatened to upend religious and societal norms about the afterlife. But the truth has a way of surfacing, doesn't it? In the 14th century, a Tibetan mystic named Karma Lingpa discovered the hidden text, ensuring its preservation for future generations. In Tibetan Buddhist tradition, the Bardo Thodol is more than just a book. It's a lifeline for the soul. It serves as a guide not only for those facing death, but for all of us navigating the complexities of life. The text offers a framework for understanding the nature of reality and our place within it. But here's where it gets really interesting. The Bardo Thodol isn't just about what happens after we die. It's a manual for living, a tool for hacking our perception of reality right here and now. It suggests that by understanding death, we can unlock the secrets of life itself. Think about it. What if everything you've been told about death is wrong? What if, instead of an ending, it's a beginning? The Bardo Thodol proposes exactly that. It unveils a profound truth. Death is not an end, but a transition. Your consciousness, the very essence of who you are, continues on a journey beyond the physical body. This insight changes everything. It challenges us to reconsider our priorities, to live with greater awareness and purpose. After all, if death is just a doorway, not a dead end, how might that change the way you approach your life right now? But don't think for a second that we've uncovered all the Bardo Thodol's secrets. We've only scratched the surface. The journey through death is just beginning, and trust me, it's going to blow your mind. Are you ready to explore the uncharted territories of consciousness? Imagine a state of pure, limitless awareness, a realm that seems almost impossible to grasp. Yet according to the Tibetan Book of the Dead, this extraordinary experience is precisely what awaits us when we take our final breath. Welcome to the Chikhai Bardo, the first stage of the dying process. It's a realm so unlike our everyday reality that it's hard to wrap our minds around. Picture this. Every sensation you've ever known begins to fade. The weight of your body, the rhythm of your breath, even the very essence of yourself, dissolving into nothingness. And in this void, what emerges? Pure, unfiltered awareness. Now, let's contrast this with our usual experience. We live in a whirlwind of thoughts, emotions, and sensory overload, rarely pausing to notice the stillness lurking just beneath the chaos. But in the Chikhai Bardo, all of that noise falls away, much like stepping out of a crowded, loud room into an expansive, silent wilderness. As your physical senses and sense of ego dissolve, you encounter what the Tibetan masters call the clear light of reality. This isn't merely a poetic description, it's a tangible experience, a radiant consciousness that envelops you. Imagine the brightest light you've seen, not blinding, but instead filling you with deep peace and understanding. This clear light symbolizes not just an experience after death, but the very foundation of reality itself. It represents a pure awareness that is typically obscured by the clutter of our minds. In a sense, death is like pulling back the curtains on the true nature of consciousness. Now here's where it gets captivating. If you can recognize this clear light as your own true essence, you hold the key to enlightenment, right then and there. It's akin to hitting the cosmic jackpot, offering the chance to liberate yourself from the cycle of rebirth and suffering in one grand moment. But there's a catch. Many of us are so deeply attached to our physical lives, overwhelmed by our fears and desires, that we completely miss this golden opportunity. It's like being a fish that has lived its entire life in water and suddenly encountering air for the first time, so bewildering that we fail to see how vital it is. This is why the Tibetan Book of the Dead underscores the importance of preparation. Through meditation and mindfulness practices, we can cultivate a familiarity with this state of pure consciousness while we are still alive. Think of it as rehearsing for the most significant moment of your life. Consider the implications. If consciousness can exist beyond our physical form, and our true nature is this boundless awareness, how does that reshape our understanding of life and death? It suggests that what we call death may simply be a transition into another state of being. Yet, here's the truth. Recognizing the clear light is no easy feat. For those who can't grasp it, the journey through death continues. And trust me, what follows is even more astonishing. Are you prepared to delve into the extraordinary realms that lie beyond the clear light? Imagine a world where your thoughts take shape, where every fear and desire appears before you, offering an opportunity for profound self-discovery. This concept, rooted in ancient Tibetan wisdom, introduces us to the Chonyid Bardo, a transformative stage in the death process. Are you prepared to explore your true self in ways you may not have imagined? In the Chonyid Bardo, reality transforms into a vivid landscape shaped by your own mind. You will encounter two types of beings: peaceful deities and wrathful monsters. These beings are not separate entities, they are projections of your consciousness. The peaceful deities symbolize your highest potential and deepest aspirations, embodying your best qualities of compassion and wisdom. In contrast, the wrathful deities represent your fears and unresolved issues. While they may appear intimidating, they are here to support your growth and understanding. Consider the opportunity to confront your inner demons and witness the manifestation of your greatest potential. This unique experience reveals the consequences of your thoughts, words, and actions, allowing you to engage with your karma in a tangible way. Tibetan masters believe these figures are real reflections of your mind, awaiting recognition and acceptance. This is not merely symbolic, it is a powerful chance for spiritual transformation. If you can approach these encounters as aspects of yourself instead of external threats, you will have taken a significant step toward liberation. From a psychological standpoint, these experiences can be seen as vital encounters with your inner archetypes. Renowned psychologist Carl Jung emphasized that confronting the deeper layers of ourselves is essential for personal growth. He famously said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." In this sense, the Chonyid Bardo serves as a profound therapeutic experience, enabling you to face both fears and aspirations simultaneously. Navigating this realm involves recognizing the potential for liberation through understanding the nature of these visions as projections of consciousness. While this journey may be challenging, many people spend their lives avoiding their fears. it is also an essential part of preparation and practice during our lifetime. The key insight is that your karma, the totality of your actions and intentions, shapes your perception of reality. While this influence is often subtle in life, it becomes vividly apparent in the Chonyid Bardo. This realization is empowering. By working on yourself today, you not only enhance your current life, but also prepare for what lies beyond. And remember, this journey is far from the end. The most important decisions are still ahead. The Tibetan Book of the Dead presents a profound insight into the post-mortem journey of consciousness, particularly during the Chikhai Bardo, the intermediary state in which the mind prepares for rebirth. This phase is characterized by existential choices that overshadow even life's most significant decisions. In this context, one encounters a metaphorical cosmic crossroads with 6 distinct realms of existence, each representing unique experiential modalities and existential challenges. This is not merely a theoretical framework, but a critical juncture influencing the trajectory of future rebirths. The 6 realms include 1. Deva Loka. This is the realm of gods, characterized by experiences of pleasure and bliss. Despite its seeming advantages, the inhabitants are not exempt from impermanence, ultimately facing the inevitability of rebirth. 2. Asura Loka, the domain of demigods, marked by power, rivalry, and conflict, an existence that, while filled with strength, is fraught with turbulence. 3. Manushya Loka, the human realm, a familiar space that offers both challenges and opportunities for growth, essentially serving as a pivotal ground for karmic action. 4th, Tiryak Loka. Also known as the animal realm, this area emphasizes instinctual living, where survival drives behavioral patterns and existence is limited by a lack of higher cognitive awareness. 5. Preta Loka. Often referred to as the realm of hungry ghosts, this space is defined by insatiable cravings and persistent dissatisfaction, reflecting a profound disconnect from fulfillment. 6th, Naraka Loka. Translated as hell realms, these are characterized by intense suffering, which results from past karmic actions, exemplifying the principle of moral causation. A crucial aspect of this process is that the mental state of the individual at the moment of death significantly dictates the path the consciousness will traverse. This emphasizes a fundamental tenet of Buddhism: karma. It is not an external arbiter determining one's fate, but rather the cumulative result of one's intentions, actions, and mental conditioning throughout life. Consideration of how every thought, intention, and action influences this karmic decision is paramount. This realization echoes the non-judgmental nature of karmic outcomes, as they reflect the natural results of previous choices and established mental patterns. The cycle of samsara embodies this process, the continuous cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. It extends beyond mere reincarnation. It encompasses the cyclical nature of existential becoming, driven by attachments and karmic predispositions. Each incarnation serves as a complex interplay between opportunities for growth and the perpetuation of suffering. Navigating this cosmic crossroads requires an understanding that rebirth is not a predetermined destiny. Rather, it represents a choice, one shaped by deeply ingrained mental patterns and aspirations, rather than conscious deliberation. The pivotal inquiry then arises: is it feasible to transcend this cycle of samsara? The teachings of Tibetan masters suggest that liberation from this cycle is indeed possible, offering a nuanced framework for understanding the path beyond the recurrent cycle of existence. Let's explore the captivating idea of consciousness through the lens of quantum physics, envisioning it as a quantum system that exists in multiple states at once, effectively transcending the limitations of our physical brains. While this might seem unusual at first glance, emerging research is paving the way for a paradigm shift in our comprehension of consciousness. At this intriguing crossroads of consciousness studies, quantum physics, and spirituality, long-standing assumptions are being thoughtfully reconsidered. Traditionally, mainstream science has viewed consciousness as simply a byproduct of brain activity. However, quantum theories of consciousness present a more expansive view, suggesting that awareness may actually operate according to quantum principles, allowing for concurrent states of existence. This idea aligns harmoniously with Tibetan Buddhist philosophies, which assert that reality comprises layers accessible to our consciousness, particularly during the transition of death. The implications of this framework are profound and invite contemplation. If our consciousness is not strictly confined to the brain, but interacts with quantum fields that permeate the universe, it opens up exciting avenues for understanding the nature of reality and what may happen after we pass on. One fascinating concept from the Tibetan Book of the Dead is the clear light of reality, a state of pure awareness encountered at death. Recent parallels drawn between this phenomenon and quantum state transitions suggest that consciousness may indeed transcend physical boundaries, accessing an infinite realm of potential. Furthermore, the Tibetan text emphasizes the importance of the vibrational frequency of consciousness at the moment of death, positing that this frequency influences our subsequent state of existence. This idea resonates with quantum principles of resonance, indicating that energies with similar frequencies may attract, thereby determining the qualitative nature of post-life experiences based on the vibrational state cultivated during our lives. While skepticism exists, particularly regarding the empirical support for these quantum theories of consciousness, there's value in considering an integrative approach. What if consciousness emerges from brain activity, but also engages with quantum fields beyond physical limitations? This synthesis may lead to richer insights into life, death, and the continuum that connects them. Moreover, the ancient wisdom imparted by Tibetan masters regarding preparation for the clear light experience through meditation is not merely philosophical. Modern neuroscience is increasingly recognizing the profound effects of meditation on brain function and consciousness, validating these traditional practices. In essence, the fifth key insight invites us to ponder the concept of quantum consciousness. This perspective suggests that awareness might not solely arise from neural activity, but could also be an intrinsic characteristic of the universe itself, capable of existing beyond our physical forms. This understanding fundamentally challenges traditional notions and opens up exciting possibilities for our understanding of post-mortem consciousness. The next important step is to think constructively about how to integrate this knowledge into our everyday lives. We can explore practical methodologies to tap into this quantum aspect of consciousness, allowing us to actively engage in transformative practices that may enrich our experience of reality. What if every moment of your life served as preparation for death? While it may seem unsettling, this thought is central to Tibetan Buddhist practices. Rather than avoiding the topic of mortality, these ancient teachings invite us to embrace it, suggesting that doing so could lead to a fuller, more meaningful life. The Tibetan Book of the Dead offers valuable insights into navigating the bardos, the transitional states between death and rebirth. Interestingly, the practices described in this text are not solely intended for those nearing death. They can be powerful tools we utilize in our daily lives to cultivate mindfulness and enrich our experiences. One of the most transformative practices in Tibetan Buddhism is phowa. This meditation technique trains individuals to direct their consciousness during the moment of death. While it may seem extraordinary, practitioners believe that mastering this skill can facilitate a transition to enlightenment, bypassing the usual process of rebirth. Think of it as a profound opportunity for spiritual advancement. In addition to phowa, there is dream yoga, which presents another exciting avenue for growth. This practice encourages dream awareness, transforming what might seem like random dreams into meaningful experiences for spiritual development. The ability to navigate different realms of consciousness during sleep becomes a valuable preparation for experiences beyond death. You might wonder how these practices fit into your everyday life. The beauty of these teachings lies in their dual purpose. They not only prepare us for death, but also encourage us to live with greater awareness and intention in the present moment. By meditating on impermanence, you develop a deeper appreciation for each moment. Facing fears during dreams fosters courage in waking life, and cultivating present moment awareness helps you recognize the extraordinary in everyday situations. Imagine approaching each day as a rehearsal for an important moment in your life. How would this perspective transform your interactions with others, your pursuit of goals, or your approach to challenges? The key insight from the Tibetan Book of the Dead is that life itself is a rehearsal for death. Each moment of awareness, every act of kindness, and all the challenges we encounter prepare us for that final transition. By embracing this viewpoint, you can profoundly influence not only how you face death, but also how you engage with life. The pivotal question remains: can these ancient practices be relevant in our fast-paced, modern world? As we navigate our digital lives and daily pressures, we find that the timeless wisdom of Tibetan Buddhism offers practical relevance for the 21st century. Let's explore how these teachings can enhance our lives today. As we explore the transformative power of ancient practices, we uncover their potential to fundamentally alter our perception of existence. Picture a reality where time isn't a linear sequence, but rather a simultaneous experience. This radical idea isn't merely science fiction. It's a central teaching of the Tibetan Book of the Dead. The Bardo Thodol introduces an astonishing perspective on time that questions conventional understanding. Instead of viewing time as a straightforward progression from past to present to future, consider the possibility that this linearity is an illusion of our limited perception. According to Tibetan masters, death marks the moment when our entire understanding of time disintegrates. At this pivotal point, the past, present, and future converge into one infinite moment. It resembles stepping outside a movie theater, realizing that while we watch scenes unfold one by one, every moment of the film exists together on a single reel. This conceptualization of time extends far beyond abstract philosophy. It holds significant implications for how we perceive karma and rebirth. If all moments coexist at once, our past actions, current decisions, and future outcomes are interconnected in ways that challenge our comprehension. This perspective empowers us to influence our past and shape our future through mindful awareness in the present. Consider the impact. If you could view your entire existence as an interconnected web, how would that reshape your approach to life? The Tibetan Book of the Dead illuminates that this perspective isn't limited to the moment of death. We can access it through meditation and mindfulness practices in our daily lives. Now, here's where it gets fascinating. Modern science is aligning with these ancient insights. Quantum physics indicates that time may not be as fixed as we believed. Some theories propose that past and future events interact, further challenging our linear perception of cause and effect. Einstein's theory of relativity revealed that time is not an absolute concept. Some physicists argue that, at the quantum level, time as we know it might even be absent. These groundbreaking theories are forging connections between the wisdom of the ancients and the forefront of scientific exploration. What does this mean for us? If time isn't the rigid construct we've always assumed, it opens up extraordinary possibilities. It suggests that we could transcend time's constraints, accessing profound levels of reality and consciousness. This leads us to the seventh key insight from the Tibetan Book of the Dead: the experience of time's collapse at death. This moment isn't merely about time halting, it's about transcending time itself. Such a state presents a unique opportunity for liberation, a chance to break the cycles of karma and rebirth. Now, for a thought-provoking question. If time isn't as real as we perceive it, what implications does that have on our existence? Are we merely participants in a cosmic interplay of interconnected moments? If that's the case, how can we harness this understanding to live more fully and prepare for our ultimate transition? Prepare to delve into how grasping the illusion of time can profoundly transform your life and even the way you face death. As we delve into the enigma of time's illusion, we encounter an even more astonishing concept: the idea that your mental state at the time of death could profoundly influence your entire afterlife experience. This may seem far-fetched, yet ancient wisdom and contemporary research suggest a compelling link between our intentions and the journey beyond. The Tibetan Book of the Dead stresses the transformative power of intention, particularly when navigating the bardos, those enigmatic transitional realms after death. Think of your intentions as a cosmic compass, steering you through the unexplored landscapes of the afterlife. Crucially, this focus on intention isn't solely about what awaits after death. It profoundly impacts how you choose to live today. Consider two narratives. In one, you confront death with trepidation, clinging desperately to your life. Your thoughts are clouded with regrets and unresolved issues. Contrast this with a second scenario where you have nurtured a clear and focused mindset throughout your life. You embrace your mortality, approaching death with curiosity and acceptance. Which of these journeys do you believe will yield a more rewarding afterlife experience? Tibetan masters taught that our mental habits and beliefs serve as filters, shaping our perception of reality in both life and the afterlife. It's as if we are projecting our inner experiences onto the vast canvas of the bardos. By cultivating positive intentions, we can reframe these experiences, enabling us to face our deepest fears and desires with composure. So how can we nurture these uplifting mental states? It's not merely about forcing yourself into positivity. Tibetan traditions offer an array of practices aimed at training the mind. Meditation, for instance, heightens your awareness of thoughts and emotions, empowering you to choose responses intentionally rather than merely reacting. Visualization techniques further prepare you for the imagery you may encounter in the bardos, easing that transition. Modern science adds an intriguing dimension here. Research reveals that our mental frameworks have a significant impact on our physiological responses, particularly in high-stress situations. Studies indicate that individuals who maintain a positive mindset during pressure tend to exhibit lower levels of stress hormones. If our thoughts can influence our bodily responses to such an extent, is it truly far-fetched to believe they might also shape our afterlife experiences? The importance of intention transcends mere positive thinking. In Tibetan Buddhism, intention is intimately tied to karma. The intentions we cultivate throughout our lives shape our future existences, generating a kind of energetic momentum that carries through death into whatever lies ahead. It's as if we are continuously planting seeds that will flourish in our afterlife. Thus, the eighth pivotal insight from the Tibetan Book of the Dead is clear. Intention serves as your guiding light, both in life and in the experience of death and beyond. By fostering positive intentions and mental clarity now, you are essentially preparing yourself for the most profound journey of your existence. This naturally leads to an even deeper question. Can we genuinely manage our thoughts at the moment of death? In facing this ultimate transition, will all our preparation be sufficient? The answer may astonish you, and it has the potential to reshape everything you believe about the extraordinary power of the mind. One might assume that their current experience of reading these words on a screen is straightforward. However, the Tibetan Book of the Dead posits a much more intricate reality, suggesting that our perception is merely an initial layer of a more expansive, interconnected existence. Are we prepared to delve deeper into the foundational aspects of consciousness? The Bardo Thodol presents an idea that really shakes up the way we think about knowledge and reality. It suggests that what we see and experience around us isn't just out there waiting to be discovered. Instead, it's actually created by our own minds. Every sound we hear, every image we see, and all our sensory experiences aren't just passively received, they're actively made by our brains. This leads to some fascinating questions. Could it be that our minds are what shape our experience of reality? While this concept may initially seem implausible, prevailing perceptions tend to characterize the world as a stable, independent entity. In contrast, Tibetan Buddhist philosophy argues that such perceptions merely skim the surface of a profound ontological reality. The tenets of sunyata, emptiness, and pratitya samutpada, dependent origination, are utilized to elucidate this underlying framework of existence. The notion of emptiness does not imply a nihilistic void. Rather, it suggests a lack of inherent, independent existence within phenomena. All entities are interdependent, emerging from a confluence of causes and conditions, akin to a vast cosmic web where perturbing one strand reverberates throughout the entirety of the structure. In relation to the death process, the Chikhai Bardo emerges as a pivotal moment of primordial clarity, representing an opportunity for individuals to apprehend the fundamental nature of reality. As the layers of ordinary perception dissipate, there exists a potential to perceive beyond the veils of illusion. The implications of this understanding extend beyond theoretical discourse. They carry significant ramifications for our lived experience and notions of mortality. If our reality is more malleable and interconnected than traditionally perceived, our thoughts and intentions may wield considerable influence over our experiential framework. This is why the Tibetan Book of the Dead underscores the importance of preparatory practices, such as meditation and heightened awareness, in the face of death. Imagine if one could recognize the illusory nature of reality during the moment of death. Instead of being engulfed by fear and disorientation, a person could approach the afterlife with lucidity and intentionality. This represents the transformative potential articulated in the Bardo Thodol. However, one need not await the moment of death to harness this wisdom. By fostering an awareness of the interconnected nature of existence in the present, individuals can undergo profound transformations in their lives. There may be a shift in perception, viewing the world as a dynamic interplay of energy and consciousness, rather than as a concrete reality. Thus, we arrive at a crucial insight from the Tibetan Book of the Dead. The reality we perceive is, in many ways, a mental projection and a filtered reflection of a vaster and more interconnected reality. This understanding paves the way for expanded possibilities in our lives, our approach to death, and our potential continuities beyond it. Yet, if reality holds the semblance of an illusion, what constitutes the true essence of existence? Furthermore, how can we engage with this deeper layer of reality? Prepare to engage with one of the most profound inquiries, an examination of the nature of consciousness itself. Imagine a world where your thoughts seamlessly connect with the thoughts of others, where your consciousness extends beyond the confines of your own mind. It may sound surprising, but concepts found in the Tibetan Book of the Dead suggest that this may be closer to reality than we realize. Welcome to the fascinating concept of non-dual awareness, where the differences between self and other merge into a vibrant fabric of collective consciousness. Traditionally, we view ourselves as separate individuals, each possessing unique thoughts, feelings, and experiences. However, what if this sense of separateness is merely an illusion? Tibetan masters propose that our feeling of individuality is a mental construct that can cloud our perception of the true nature of reality. Reflect on your own experiences. Have you ever felt a deep connection with someone, sensing their emotions, or understanding their thoughts without words. These moments of connection could provide a glimpse into a more profound truth about consciousness. Now, let's explore how the concept of interconnectedness relates to compassion and ethics. If we are all interlinked, then causing harm to others is, in essence, causing harm to ourselves. This perspective fosters greater empathy and compassion, as we recognize that the well-being of others is an integral part of our own well-being. Moreover, we don't need to rely solely on ancient wisdom. Modern science is increasingly aligning with these ideas. Take quantum entanglement, for instance. This phenomenon illustrates that particles can be connected across vast distances, echoing the Buddhist perspective that all consciousness is intertwined. Research on meditation has shown that practices aimed at cultivating compassion can actually alter our brain's structure, indicating that we can train ourselves to experience this interconnectedness more fully. Imagine what it would be like to experience this state of non-dual awareness. Visualize a consciousness where the boundaries between you and the surrounding world fade away, allowing you to feel deeply connected to every living being, every blade of grass, and every star in the sky. This isn't just a lofty idea. People have been experiencing and documenting such states of consciousness for thousands of years. This brings us to a vital insight from the Tibetan Book of the Dead, the illusion of separateness. While our individual sense of self is useful for navigating everyday life, it's ultimately a construct that can obscure a more profound, interconnected reality. By acknowledging this interconnectedness, we can embark on a transformative journey in how we perceive and engage with the world. Now, here's the key question. How can we embody this understanding in our daily lives? If everything is interconnected, how might this change our choices and actions? Get ready to explore practical ways this ancient wisdom can enrich your life in ways you may never have imagined. What if you could break free from the cycle of death and rebirth? This is not just a fantasy, it's the ultimate goal of Buddhism. We're talking about liberation, permanent freedom from the endless cycle of suffering. You might wonder, isn't that just another version of heaven or salvation? Not quite. While many religions promise eternal paradise or reunion with a divine being, Buddhism offers something different: nirvana. This is a state of perfect peace and freedom from suffering, not a place to go to, but a state of being you achieve. Imagine a consciousness so pure and free from attachment and delusion that it no longer needs to be reborn. That's enlightenment. It's about seeing reality as it truly is, without the filters of ego and desire clouding our perception. But how do you get there? There's no one-size-fits-all approach. Buddhism presents various paths and practices, each suited to different temperaments and circumstances. Some focus on meditation and mindfulness, training the mind to observe thoughts and emotions without becoming entangled. Others emphasize compassion and service, recognizing our liberation is intertwined with the well-being of all beings. Consider this: every act of kindness, every moment of mindfulness draws you closer to ultimate freedom. It's not solely about what occurs after you die. It's about transforming your life right now, moment by moment. You might ask, is this really possible? Can anyone achieve this? The Buddha taught that liberation is available to anyone willing to put in the work. It's not about perfection or being special. It's about consistent practice and unwavering dedication to uncovering your true nature. Here's where it gets exciting. The Tibetan Book of the Dead suggests that the moment of death presents a unique opportunity for liberation. As the layers of ordinary consciousness fall away, we can recognize our true nature and break free from the cycle of rebirth. It's like the ultimate final exam, where all your practice finally pays off. The 11th key insight is clear. Liberation from the rebirth cycle is possible. It's not just a distant dream or metaphor. It's a real possibility for anyone willing to walk the path. Now, we face a powerful question. Is this ancient wisdom still relevant in our modern world? Can these teachings about death and rebirth help us navigate the complexities of 21st century life? Get ready as we explore how these timeless truths can revolutionize the way we live, work, and relate to each other in ways you never imagined possible. Consider this. How frequently do you genuinely focus on the present? Many of us drift through life, engulfed in a flurry of thoughts concerning the past or the future. However, here's the fascinating part. By practicing mindfulness in daily tasks, you can access the same awareness that Tibetan masters developed for navigating the afterlife. Let's break it down further. The next time you are washing dishes, try to concentrate fully on the feel of the water, the scent of the soap, and the surface of the plates. It may seem insignificant, but you are essentially training your mind to stay present, a skill that could be vital when dealing with the ultimate transition. Yet here's the surprise. Grasping the concept of death involves more than merely preparing for the end. It's about enhancing your current existence. When you fully recognize the reality of your own mortality, everything shifts. Suddenly, that disagreement with your partner seems less significant. The pressures of your job diminish in importance. You begin to emphasize what truly counts. Experts recommend incorporating these insights into your daily routine through straightforward practices. Consider beginning each day with a moment of gratitude, recognizing that today is an invaluable gift that won't return. Alternatively, reserve time for self-reflection, analyzing your thoughts and actions with kindness and curiosity. Brace yourself, as this isn't solely about feeling good, it's about deeply transforming your perception of reality. The Tibetan masters believe that by confronting the little deaths we experience daily, such as fear, loss, and change, we can tap into the same truths that emerge after death. It's akin to a dress rehearsal for the main event, assisting you in handling life's challenges with poise and awareness. Now it gets particularly intriguing. Research indicates that reflecting on mortality can actually improve life satisfaction and foster more meaningful experiences. It's not about being pessimistic, it's about leveraging the reality of death as a catalyst to live fully and authentically. Thus, here's the 12th essential insight from the Tibetan Book of the Dead. Awareness of death is not just about readying oneself for the end. It's a potent instrument for enriching your existence at this moment. By embracing this wisdom, you're not merely preparing for a good death. You're laying the groundwork for a more vibrant, intention-filled life. But what about those confronting death right now? How can these age-old teachings provide solace and guidance during their final moments? Prepare to discover how the Tibetan Book of the Dead can transform our perspective on end-of-life care in ways you never imagined. What if I proposed that the last 49 days of a person's life could hold immense spiritual significance? The Tibetan tradition of guiding the dying offers a transformative perspective on death that is gaining attention in modern healthcare. In Tibetan Buddhism, death is viewed not as an end, but as a vital transition. The practice of guiding the dying is an ancient and compassionate art, built on the belief that consciousness persists beyond physical death. Imagine the potential to support someone through this profound journey, helping them navigate the challenges and opportunities their final days present. Now, let's consider the usual approach to end-of-life care. In many contemporary settings, the primary focus tends to be on physical comfort and pain relief. While these elements are essential, the Tibetan approach invites us to recognize that there may be a crucial aspect we often overlook: addressing a person's spiritual and psychological needs with the same attentiveness we afford to their physical comfort. The techniques for supporting someone during the dying process are both straightforward and deeply meaningful. It begins by establishing a peaceful environment free from distractions. Loved ones are encouraged to speak with calmness and positivity, steering clear of emotional displays that might disturb the dying person's mental state. Reading from the Tibetan Book of the Dead is a common practice, guiding the consciousness through the stages of death and beyond. What's particularly fascinating is that this practice transcends the experience of the individual who is dying. It has the potential to enrich the experience for caregivers and loved ones as well. Engaging with death in a conscious and purposeful manner allows us to confront our own fears and attachments. It serves as a reflection of our own lives, encouraging us to embrace life more fully in light of its impermanence. Imagine if we could approach death not through the lens of fear or denial, but with openness and curiosity. How might this shift in perspective transform our relationship with life itself? The Tibetan approach posits that fully embracing the reality of death can enhance our appreciation for living. This brings us to an important insight: the conscious dying process. It transcends the aim of providing comfort. It becomes an opportunity for profound spiritual growth and understanding, for both the dying individual and those who support them. It invites us to engage with the deepest mysteries of existence. So, what implications does this hold for our understanding of life? If death is not an end but a transition, how might this influence the ways we choose to live each day? We are about to delve into how this ancient wisdom can reshape our entire approach to existence. Consider the concept of a vast cosmic mirror, one that reflects not only your physical form, but also the inherent truths of existence and consciousness itself. This perspective aligns with the philosophical teachings of the Tibetan Book of the Dead, which posits that death is not merely a terminal event, but a profound reflection of life's essence. Reflect on how your understanding of mortality, perceived not as an abstract notion, but as a tangible reality, could transform your life. The Tibetan masters asserted that an engagement with the inevitability of death is fundamental to authentic living. This approach doesn't hinge on morbid contemplation or pessimism. Rather, it leverages our awareness of temporal limitations to prioritize aspects of existence that are truly significant. Moreover, confronting our mortality allows us to access heightened levels of consciousness. This process resembles the peeling away of layers from superficial perception, granting a glimpse into the infinite nature of reality. In this light, many of our trivial concerns and fears diminish, enabling us to recognize the deep interconnectedness of all phenomena and appreciate the beauty inherent in each moment. I encourage you to engage in daily contemplation of your mortality, utilizing it as a cognitive tool to enhance your focus on what genuinely holds value. Let this exercise motivate you to cultivate a greater sense of purpose and compassion in your life. If this moment were to be your last, how would that influence your actions and choices? Ultimately, I pose this pivotal inquiry: how will your approach to life shift, given this understanding of death? Will you continue to navigate your days in a state of unawareness, or will you seize each moment as a vital opportunity for personal growth and deeper connection? The decision ultimately lies in your hands.